Hello, this is Michael Lindsay again from the Christian Construction Podcast, and this is today's Daily Devotional. I want to conclude our thought this week on the rich young ruler. We spoke about what he had: fame, fortune, family, a future, and favor. And then we spoke this week about what he did not have. He did not have spirituality. He did not have satisfaction. But ultimately, here's a young man that did not have salvation. That was the missing link in his life. You can have everything else. Here's a young man who seemingly had it all together. He had his whole life ahead of him. He was doing well for himself. He had done well as a moral person in a religious system that seemed like he was able to live and to supersede any expectations that were made of him. Here's a young man that seemed like he had it all together. But in the end, he did not have a relationship with Christ. No matter where you are, no matter what you're going through, the most important thing in your life is a relationship with the Lord. Here's a young man who had all the potential in the world. He had all the potential to be anything that God wanted him to be, but he wasted it away. He was grievous. He was upset. He was sorrowful. Why? Because Jesus gave him a commandment and he would not do what the Lord told him to do. It's not the things that we're doing well that keeps us from getting close to God. It's that one thing that the Lord gives us to do. If we don't do it, that might be what keeps us from getting where we need to be at with the Lord. It doesn't matter if it's in salvation. For you to be able to get saved, God will cross you in an area. He did that with the rich young ruler. He knew that there was one thing between the rich young ruler and the Lord, and that was his riches. And as a Christian, as a believer, there are times in our life where we place an importance on things that God does not want us to be interested in. And it's when we put those things in priority in front of the Lord, when we let those things have the preeminence instead of the Lord, that God will cross us in those areas. And if we don't remove them or get them right or deal with them, then we won't be able to move forward with the Lord. So friend, help us that we would remove whatever obstacle is between us and God and let Him have His way in our life. This has been Michael Lindsay this week on the Daily Devotion. We hope these have been a blessing to you. Please continue to tune in every weekday and then on Fridays for full episodes of the Christian Construction Podcast.